Okay, good morning everybody. Hope you had a great spring break. Welcome back. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to go over the last reading that you were supposed to do. So if you have your book on the computer here or your physical book, I'm going to start reading through this information here. So this was page number 180. I'm going to start reading from here and going over some information. It starts with mutations here. Suppose that a mistake occurred in one gene of a chromosome. Instead of the base A, for example, the DNA molecule might have the base G. Such a mistake is one type of mutation that can occur in a cell's hereditary material. A mutation is any change in a gene or chromosome. So make sure you write down that note for mutation, what it is. It's a change in a gene or a chromosome. Mutations can cause a cell to produce an incorrect protein during protein synthesis. As a result, the organism's trait or phenotype may be different from what it normally would have been. In fact, the term mutation comes from a Latin word that means change. So write down that green yellow key as well. You can pause the video if you need to, if I go on too soon. So that's when they produce an incorrect protein during protein synthesis. That might cause someone to have a different physical characteristic or trait. I'm going to show you a few pictures. They might appear strange to you, some of them, but they all occur because of mutations. So this first one is showing genetic mutations of a fruit fly. So it has a particular body style, particular eye shape. This one with a particular mutation has bar eyes, a different type of shape of eyes, and another type of genetic mutation that will cause a wingless fruit fly to be apparent here, with no wings that are not able to fly. So there can sometimes be good mutations, bad mutations, mutations that can help organisms to survive, some that will not make them likely to survive, but these different types of mutations do occur. Here's another one. It might look kind of strange, but things happen with different amounts of eyes or things like that, different types of mutations, or sometimes organisms can be joined together, kind of like a combination, but some type of mutation occurring here. And be careful if you look up mutations and search them online. You might get some fake pictures. But just be careful. If it looks really different, it might be a photoshopped picture, but strange mutations do occur. This next one might take you a moment to realize. But this gentleman here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 phalanges, or fingers, 5 fingers and a thumb, all phalanges here. Same thing on this hand. Okay? So these mutations can occur, make someone have a different appearance, and it's not always apparent. Somebody can have a mutation and not even know it, or it has no effect on them. Next one here is with a child here, and it looks like they had a mutation to have also a different amount of fingers, but some of them got fused together, which can happen sometime throughout the process of development. Some type of mutation occurs, and the fingers did not separate as they were supposed to. Similar here with this next picture. Might look like this person is wearing something over them, but some type of mutation here as well. I believe this one is a series of warts that this individual has, that is causing them to just continue to grow and mutate on top of him. Next one here, you might think a mermaid or something like that when you see this picture, but the bottom half of the child's body kind of is fused together, like kind of like the boy and the fingers here. Similar thing happening here, kind of looks like a mermaid, you might say, but it is a fusing of that part together. I even found a picture here next of how they might separate that. So there's some type of fusing here between the bones, between the hip area here, and at the bottom near the ankles. And they can try separation surgery, for someone like this so they would be able to walk. Here's the next one here. Might look fake, but it is a blue colored lobster here. You're used to seeing red lobsters, of course, but this one has a blue color, some type of mutation or a different type of species of lobster here. And the last one is fake, of course, but they do talk about mutations in X-Men and things like that. If you watch any of the X-Men movies, you'll see probably references to, I know in the beginning credits they even show like cells and mutations occurring, things like that. But that would be a very extreme case of mutations, and of course this is made up. But there are, some people that have mutations that make them quite different than others. Okay, so back to the reading here. So the mutations occur down here. Let me show you. Some mutations are a result of a small change in an organism's hereditary material. For example, a single base may be substituted for another, or one or more bases may be removed from a section of DNA. This type of mutation can occur during the process of DNA replication. Other mutations may occur when chromosomes don't separate correctly during meiosis. When this type of mutation occurs, a cell can end up with too many or too few chromosomes. The cell could also end up with extra segments of chromosomes. So I'll show you up here different types of mutations. So this is the original DNA sequence here. You see all of them matching up properly, G with C, A with T, and they're having these combinations. But substitution, meaning you have a pair that is originally how it's supposed to be here, but for some reason it was substituted in, like a substitute teacher, right? You normally have this combination here, that's what it usually is, but then some other one comes in, like a substitute teacher, and it's substituted in, not how it's normally supposed to be. So things would be different. Just like you have a substitute teacher, things would be slightly different that day at school. It could be very similar, but it could be quite different. Next one is deletion. Okay, this is when there has the original one here, but for some reason during the DNA replication process, it is missing. So you might have heard of someone missing a chromosome or having an extra chromosome. This is when there's going to be a section of the DNA that's going to be deleted. And then next one here is addition. So it's going to be one base pair is added. So there's the original. Here is the added one here. Okay, so something would possibly show up, but there would be some type of mutation. Remember, sometimes a mutation can cause no change in the organism. Okay, last page here, 181. I already mentioned some of this. So because of mutations can introduce changes in the organism, they can be a source of genetic variety. Some mutations are harmful to an organism. A few mutations, however, are helpful, and others are neither harmful nor helpful. A mutation is harmful to an organism if it reduces the organism's chance for survival and reproduction. So if you have a mutation that is not helpful to you, that would not help you to survive. If you have an organism like the fruit fly that has no wings, in most cases that would probably be harmful to that fruit fly. They'd be less likely to survive. Whether a mutation is harmful or not depends partly on the organism's environment. The mutation that led to the production of a white kangaroo would probably be harmful to an organism in the wild. The kangaroo's white color would make it more visible, and thus easier for predators to find. However, a white kangaroo in a zoo has the same chance for survival as a brown kangaroo. In a zoo, the mutation neither helps nor harms the kangaroo. So, I mean, if it's in a zoo, it will most likely survive still. But remember, out in the wild, if you have an animal living in a snowy environment, and they have an offspring that usually should be white, but is brown in color, they'd be maybe more likely to be hunted and killed by a predator. Helpful mutations, on the other hand, improve an organism's chances for survival and reproduction. Antibiotic resistance in bacteria is an example. Antibiotics are chemicals that kill bacteria. Gene mutations have enabled some kinds of bacteria to become resistant to certain antibiotics. That is, the antibiotics do not kill the bacteria that have the mutations. The mutations have improved the bacteria's ability to survive and reproduce. So some types of mutations can be helpful. It can help the organism to survive in their environment. Okay, so you should have answered these questions down here. If you haven't, they are due today, Tuesday, the 21st. So just work on these. If you need help, email me and let me know, or ask one of your classmates. Remember, the answers, if you don't know them just from memory, can be found in the section that we just read here.